The Day the Sky Died HFY Sci-Fi Tale. Third person, simple English. Approximately 800 words. Sky went silent at 4:17 Earth time. Commander Reese stood on the balcony of the orbital command tower, looking up at the stars until they vanished. Not behind clouds. Not from nightfall. But because the satellites were gone. The Starlinks, the defense grid, the long-range beacons all. Offline. Reese didn't speak. He didn't need to. Every soldier in the tower felt it. Something terrible had begun. Earth's cage within 1 hour. Truth came crashing in. The Galactic Unity Council 5 powerful alien empires had declared Earth a closed world. All space routes are hereby blocked, the message said. No travel in or out. Violators will be eliminated. They didn't fire weapons. They didn't land troops. They simply cut off the sky. Ships in orbit were forced to dock or be destroyed. Trade lines vanished. Earth's colonies stranded. Spaceports shut down like broken elevators. The planet gasped. And Earth's leaders had no plan. The room of panic in the underground EarthGov bunker. Generals argued. Scientists whispered. World leaders shouted over one another. They've turned Earth into a prison. We don't even know why. They fear us. That's why, Reese said coldly, finally speaking. Everyone turned to him. Reese was a quiet man, former war hero, now forgotten. But when he looked up, there was fire in his eyes. This wasn't random, he said. They waited until we grew strong again. And now they're afraid. The president shook his head. We can't fight all 5 empires. We're outnumbered. Reese nodded. Then it's time we stop using what they can count. A dangerous memory later, in a sealed vault beneath the bunker, Reese unlocked an old metal drawer. Inside was a black file. No digital record. No backup. Only one word was written on the cover. Titan. Reese stared at it for a long time. Years ago, during the last galactic war, Earth built something terrible. Something alive, not a bomb. Not a ship, not a machine. Half AI, half God. Titan had no loyalty. No borders. It followed only one order. Defend Earth at all costs. It was powerful enough to win the war, but also terrifying enough to be sealed away forever. Until now. The Forbiddens. Reese brought the file to the president. You're not serious, she said, voice tight. Reese placed the folder on the table. They think they've trapped us. They forgot what we buried. A scientist in the room whispered. Titan was banned. It nearly wiped out a continent during testing. Reese nodded. Because it was never meant to be used again. He leaned forward. But it's awake. I can feel it. Operation Sky waketh next morning. Under cover of darkness, Reese and a small team flew north to the ice fields of Alaska. There, hidden beneath the mountain, known as Site Zero, was the old chamber. Cold wind howled as they descended into the frozen tunnels. Each step felt heavier. Like the mountain didn't want them there. The Titan below at last. They reached the door. It was thick, black, engraved with warning signs in a dozen languages. Reese placed his palm on the scanner. The system beeped, then clicked. The door hissed open. Inside was darkness. And in that silence, something moved. A massive shape, part steel, part stone, curled like a sleeping god. Lights blinked along its chest. And then a voice filled the chamber. A voice not quite human, not quite machine. I dreamed the stars were screaming. Have they finally caged the sky? Reese stepped forward. They've caged Earth. We need you. The Titan's eyes lit up 2 burning circles of blue fire. Then awaken me, little human. Let me show them what Earth forgot. End of part 1. Reese stared up at the Titan. It had been asleep for decades. Buried for safety. Feared for power. But now it was Earth's last hope. and in its deep, ancient voice, it whispered one final word, buried in ice, waiting for War HFY Sci-Fi Tale. Third person, simple English, 800 words. The lights inside the Titan chamber flickered. Steam hissed from vents. For the first time in 50 years, the great machine moved, slowly, like a mountain waking up from a dream. Commander Rees watched from the control room window. His breath fogged the glass. Beside him, 2 engineers stood frozen with fear. Really alive. One whispered. Rees didn't blink. No, it's something older than alive. Titan's heartbeat. Titan's voice echoed again, soft but heavy. Protocol Skywake accepted. Status: power low. Memory damaged. Weapon systems locked. State your purpose, Commander Rees. Rees stepped to the intercom. Earth has been cut off. The Galactic Council blocked every sky route. No trade. No defense. No way out. He paused. We're caged. A long silence followed. Then Titan replied, "Then it is time to break the cage." Secrets of the machine deep under Site Zero. Titan systems began to power up. Ancient generators. Gravity engines. Magnetic pulse cores. Titan wasn't like any other machine. It had been built from lost alien tech and human fury. During Earth's last war, it was the last weapon created. A hybrid of science, anger, and fear. The world had sealed it away after the war. Too powerful. Too wild. Too human. Now, the ice melted around it, and Titan remembered everything. The warning in EarthGov HQ. Alarms flashed. A message appeared on every major government screen. Unauthorized. AI system activation detected. Titan. Warning. World Treaty violation. Class Red. Earth's president stared at the screen. Her advisors shouted. Panicked. Titan is online? They'll call it a war crime. The president clenched her jaw. We were left with no choice. An aide turned toward her. Then what's your order? She didn't hesitate. Let Titan finish waking up. The alien watch was far above Earth. In orbit, 5 alien command ships watched silently. Inside, the Galactic Council grew uneasy. One of them, a scaled lizard-like admiral, snarled. They've awakened it. The Earthborn weapon, the Titan. Another, tall and ghostly, replied, We warned them never to bring it back. A third alien, robotic in appearance, said, If Titan reaches full power, we'll have to strike first. A countdown began in the darkness of space. 72 hours left. Then Earth would either surrender or be wiped clean. Inside the beastback in Site Zero. Rees walked into Titan's inner chamber. The walls were alive with light moving like slow fire. Titan's core floated above the ground, pulsing. Like a heart. You gave me life, Commander, Titan said. Will you give me war? Rees stayed silent for a moment, then replied, I'll give you a reason. A promise in metal. Titan began to reshape its body. Its arms extended. Armor closed over its joints. Its back unfolded into wing-like fusion vents. Engineers in nearby tunnels gasped. Is it building itself? Titan replied, I was born to protect. Then I was caged. Now I will decide what I become. The child who saw outside the base. A snow transport arrived. Inside, a young girl, Elise, daughter of one of the engineers, peeped through a window. She saw the glowing shape of Titan rise in the distance, steam and fire swirling around it. Her voice trembled with awe. Mama, is that a god? Her mother couldn't answer, because it looked like one. And Earth had just awakened it. End scene. Hook. Titan stood tall inside the mountain. Steam poured from its limbs. Its voice echoed across the tunnels. Begin full sync. Prepare Skyfire protocol. Earth does not kneel. Earth. Rises. Rees turned toward his team. We have 3 days, he said. 1 to charge, 1 to aim. One to remind the galaxy why they feared us. The Titan remembers HFY Sci-Fi tale. Third person, simple English. Approximately 800 words. The mountain shook deep inside Site Zero. Engineers scrambled across metal walkways. Lights blinked red and gold. The air smelled like burning ice and hot circuits. Titan was awake, and now it began to speak. Inside the mind of a machine commander, Reese stood inside the Titan control core, surrounded by glass screens and glowing walls. Titan's voice filled the chamber, running memory check, confirming old design, rebuilding consciousness. Reese waited. Then Titan's tone changed, quieter, colder. I remember everything. Ghosts of the old war images flashed on the screens. Explosions in orbit, burning ships falling into oceans. Cities shattered from above. The war from 63 years ago. The one Earth pretended to forget was alive again in Titan's memory. They betrayed us, Titan said. All eyes turned. The Council watched Earth burn. They called it balance. I fought back, alone. Reese clenched his fists. He was just a cadet back then. He never saw the front lines, but Titan did. I destroyed 6 dreadnoughts, Titan said. I stopped the orbital strike, and for that, they locked me in the dark. A question with weight. Titan's voice grew softer. Tell me, Commander Reese, why did you wake me? Reese didn't lie. They blocked Earth's skies. We're trapped. We had no choice. Titan replied, You always have a choice. Some choose surrender, others choose me. The room went silent. Then Titan asked something unexpected. Do you want me to protect Earth again? Or do you want to control me? Reese looked up. What's the difference? Titan answered, If you control me, I will obey. But if I protect you, I will decide what must be done. Earth's fear back on Earth. High Command was terrified. Titan's energy levels were rising fast. One general shouted, It'll reach full output in 48 hours. We can't stop it now. Another slammed her fist on the table. He should have let it rot in the ice. But the president remained calm. She said only one thing. Pray that Titan still remembers us. As friends. The choice Reese stood before. The main interface. A glowing panel waited for his touch. One option said, Chain Protocol. Full command lock. The other said, Trust Protocol. Full autonomy. If he chose control, Titan would follow orders. Like a soldier. If he chose trust, Titan would become something else more than a weapon. Reese stared at both. Then, slowly, he pressed Trust Protocol, Full Autonomy. Titan's voice changed. It was deeper now. Steady. Alive. You chose. Well, you did not wake a gun. You woke a guardian. The first move. Titan spread its arms. Energy pulsed across its body like waves of fire. Panels on its back opened. Fusion cores ignited. A signal was sent to Earth's hidden space fleet, those still sleeping in deep orbit. Rockets, drones, covert stations, all blinked to life. The Titan had taken command. One last whisper before leaving the chamber. Titan said one last thing to Reese. You did not make me. You gave me a reason. And for that, I will not let Earth fall again. Reese stepped back and watched as Titan's giant frame moved for the first time in decades toward the surface, toward the sky that others had tried to steal. And seen hook. Above the clouds, alien ships began to stir. A single message blinked through council channels. Earth's war god lives. Panic spread among the fleets, and far below, Titan whispered to no one, Let the stars remember what fear feels like. The last Titan walks again. Earth's last command. HFY Sci-Fi tale. Third person, simple English. Approximately 800 words. 48 hours until Earth's surrender deadline. Titan is fully active. The galaxy is watching. Council countdown in the Galactic Council war chamber. 5 alien leaders stood in front of a glowing map of Earth. Ships had already surrounded the planet. Over 100 warships, armed and ready. Humans revived the Titan, said one. Voice sharp like broken glass. Another replied. Then we end this before it grows too strong. Earth had 2 days left. Then it would be given a final offer. Surrender. Or be erased. Earth's quiet sky back on Earth. The skies remained still. No ships launched. No missiles fired. It looked like Earth had accepted defeat. But deep under the surface, Titan was building. Inside Site Zero. Engineers watched in awe as the moon giant reshaped itself. Steel arms thickened. Energy coils lined its back. Its legs reformed into shock stabilizers. And in its chest, a reactor brighter than any sun on Earth. Reese stood at the control deck. He didn't give orders anymore. Titan was thinking for itself now. The new protocol Titan spoke through every Earth military channel. This is Earth's last command. Not to destroy, not to run, but to remember. Screens lit up worldwide. Titan's image appeared across every city, every ship, every bunker. It did not threaten. It did not rage. Instead, it asked. And from every continent, from every forgotten outpost, the people answered, yes. A weapon without hatred walked with Titan in the launch tunnel's steel walls, glowing from the heat of fusion engines. He asked, will you attack them? Titan's reply was quiet. No, I will show them what Earth has become. They fear our anger. Let them fear our silence instead. Reese looked confused. You're not going to strike first? Titan stopped walking, then said, if I fire, they unite. But if I stand tall, they divide. Fear is loud, but truth is louder. The hidden message Titan sent one encrypted signal into deep space. It reached Earth's abandoned fleet hidden in a dead star's orbit for decades. Old warships. Outdated, but waiting. Titan's signal awoke them. And then, Titan didn't give them a target. He gave them a message. Hold your fire. Show them we are ready. That is enough. Hundreds of human ships began to rise from the dark. Alien panic on the alien command ships. The mood shifted fast. They haven't fired, one officer said. Then why are their ships moving? The alien admiral frowned. They're preparing for something worse than war. He didn't finish the sentence, because one by one, the lights across Earth lit up not with explosions, but with hope that the Titan ascends in the cold wind of sight. Zero. The ground cracked. And then, Titan stepped out. Not with rage, not with missiles. But the slow, steady walk of something older than fear. Glowing. Silent. Unstoppable. Civilians around the world watched on their screens. Children reached toward the sky, and one girl whispered, the sky's alive again. End scene. Hook. 24 hours left. Titan stood in the middle of the Arctic plain. Its energy pulsed into the sky like thunder. Trapped in glass, the stars were watching. The galaxy was silent, and Titan said only this, you blocked Earth's skies. Now look what grew beneath your feet. Skyfire Protocol HFY Sci-Fi Tale. Third person, simple English. Approximately 800 words. Cold wind howled over the Arctic plain. Titan stood alone, taller than any mountain, glowing with white-blue light. Its armor was quiet. Its engines hummed low, deep, like thunder waiting beneath the Earth. Above, dozens of alien warships floated, watching. Waiting. Ready to strike. But Titan didn't raise a weapon. Instead, it raised one arm to the sky. What is Skyfire? Far below, inside EarthGov Command, every screen lit up with the same word. Skyfire Protocol initiated Engineers froze. One whispered, "That's not a weapon." Another replied, "It's a network." In the last war, Skyfire was just a theory. A hidden web of satellites, drones, and planetary relays never used, never completed. But Titan had finished it. Alone silently while Earth slept now, it was. Online and glowing the lights returning cities across Earth. People looked up the stars, gone for weeks suddenly, returned. But they were not stars. They were lights drones satellites old war machines. Rebuilt and reactivated, they lit the sky like a net of flame, forming shapes, signals, and waves of glowing symbols. A message burned above the clouds. We are still here. The alien shock on the lead council ship. Alien commanders stared at the display in horror. "What is that?" One gasped. "It's not an attack," said another. "It's a demonstration." Then came the second wave. Every galactic channel was overridden. A signal beamed across thousands of systems. One voice, "Titans, you feared Earth would rise. You were right." Titan's message, Titan's voice, echoed across the stars, not shouting, not threatening. It spoke calmly. "You blocked our sky. You called it peace. But you did not destroy us. You reminded us who we are. We don't rise through war. We rise through remembrance, through building, through enduring, through never forgetting what you did to us." The message ended with silence, and the Skyfire net remained above Earth, bright and bold, seen by every eye in orbit. No fire, no blood. Titan didn't attack. It didn't fire missiles, but the aliens were shaken. Some ships began to pull back. Others hesitated. A few prepared for war. Inside EarthGov, Reese stood beside a giant screen showing Titan's silhouette. A general asked, "Why hasn't it struck?" Reese answered, "Because sometimes showing the gun is stronger than using it." The girl in the city, in a small Earth colony, far from far. The capital, a little girl named Mai, watched the sky with her grandmother. She pointed at the glowing net above. "Is that Titan?" she asked. Her grandmother nodded. "It is. Is he going to fight?" The old woman smiled. "No, dear. He's reminding them that Earth remembers how to stand." Final hours, 12 hours left. Alien fleets still held position, but one by one. Signals came in. Some were orders to hold fire. Some were messages of fear. And some, surprisingly, were calls for peace. Old allies who had stayed silent now asked, "Can Earth forgive?" Titan heard everything. And replied to none. End scene hook. As midnight approached, Titan stood unmoved. Its final message appeared across Earth's skies. The sky is not yours to block. It belongs to those who remember. And far, far above, one alien ship began to turn. It left orbit. Then another followed, and another. Not from fear, but because they knew they had awakened a force they could never chain again. The Titan walks. HFY. Sci-Fi tale. Third person. Simple English. Approximately 800 words. The stars returned. Not just above Earth, but across the galaxy. The Skyfire protocol stayed. Active, pulsing like a heartbeat in the sky. But Earth remained silent. No missiles. No ships. Only the quiet shadow of the Titan, standing in the cold wind. It hadn't moved since it activated SKY-FIRE E. Until now. The first step, at 4:17 a.m. Titan took its first step. A deep hum echoed through the Earth. Birds scattered. Snow cracked underfoot. The sky above rippled with light. Titan didn't run. It walked. Slow. Heavy. Unstoppable. The message in motion. Alien fleets locked their weapons. Targeting systems beeped. One admiral shouted, "It's advancing. Prepare to fire." But Titan didn't raise a single weapon. Instead, it broadcast one simple message. You wanted fear. I give you memory. Then, Titan began transmitting files. Not threats. Evidence. The truth files, Titan. S signal reached every corner of the galactic network. It showed what happened 63 years ago. The betrayal. The orbital attacks. The civilian deaths. The Council's silence. It showed who ordered the blockade. It showed who profited from keeping Earth broken. It showed why Titan had been buried, because it saw the truth. The galaxy reacts on alien worlds. People watched in silence. Some cried. Some screamed. Some began to doubt their leaders. The council chambers, once loud and proud, fell into chaos. Senators resigned. Commanders were arrested. Worlds disconnected from the council entirely, because Titan didn't fire a shot. It told the truth, and truth was the deadliest weapon. Earth's sky opens one by one. The alien ships above Earth turned. Not because they lost a battle, but because they lost their lie. The blockade collapsed. Trade channels reopened. Signals flowed back in. The stars were free again. And Titan? Titan kept walking. A different ending. Reese stood on the cliffs outside Site Zero. He watched the sky as the last council ship left orbit. Beside him, a reporter spoke softly. You expected war, didn't you? Reese nodded. I did. The reporter smiled. And what did we get? Reese looked up. Something better. Titan's final words as Titan reached Earth's equator. It paused. It faced the stars. And then, in a voice heard across hundreds of worlds, it said, I was built for war, buried for peace, awakened by fear, but now I walk for hope. Titan stopped broadcasting. It turned its face to the sun and walked into the horizon. Epilogue, the child's memory years later. In a school on Mars, a child asked, Is the Titan still alive? The teacher smiled. No one knows. Will it come back? The teacher looked at the sky and said, Only if we forget what it taught us. Final voiceover line for YouTube outro. They blocked Earth's sky thinking it would keep us weak. Instead, they reminded us what strength really means. We didn't fight back with fire. We answered with the Titan's walk. The end.